What's up, guys? This video is going to be a little bit different than normal. We took some losing trades in the streams this week, so I'm going to be going over them and what went wrong so we can learn from these mistakes. I want you guys to not make the same mistakes, so we're just going to get straight into it. This is Wednesday. I'm going to start on the hourly. You can see we have a bearish fair value gap here. If we get a pullback into this, I'll be looking for shorts. And we do have a liquidity sweep here, so don't really know if we want to go lower, but again, we're in discount right now, so not taking shorts. But if we get delivery off of this, that would be nice. And one thing I do want to point out, I'll go into the 15-minute here. We do have a bunch of like engineered liquidity here. We have all these kind of relative equal lows on the higher time frame, so a bunch of kind of resting liquidity right here that we could look to take out if we get delivery from this. But on the higher time frame, it looks really bearish. I'll go here on the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, you can see we inversed this, so that makes me bearish as well. We inversed it right here, so that makes me bearish. And I'm going to go on the 15-minute, go to 8:30. You can see at 8:30 when we start pre-market, we are inside of this 1 hour fair value gap here. So I'll be looking for shorts. You can see we have this fair value gap here. Pretty sure the highest one was on the 3-minute. Yeah, that 5 minutes way too small, but this 3-minute is here. And I did not take this 3-minute because I didn't like how this wick was. Though it did close fairly close. I just did not like how big that wick was and how far it like went and kind of rejected it. But if you would have taken it, we would have hit 1R right there. So would have been partial take profit and then break even right there. But yeah, so I'm going to keep going. I did not take that trade, though it would have been a partial take profit. Now, one I did take was on the 32nd. It was this right here. We had these equal lows below, and I was looking for us to take out these equal lows. And I took this short right here like that, targeting these equal lows. Now my idea going into this, the reason I took this was delivery from this 1 minute bearish because of the 1 hour and 30-second inverse. Now there are a couple of things wrong with this that I want to go over. I took it because we had everything in the checklist. We had the delivery and we had the inverse. Now, one thing I want to point out is we are in discount. If I go from the 8:30 open, the high and the low, this is the range that we're in. Or wait, it would be this. This is the range we're in. So as you can see, we are very, very far in discount here. And that was just not a good idea to take a short in discount like that. So I should have waited for like maybe a retracement like this, liquidity sweep of here in a short, or maybe even if we got like a liquidity sweep of this buy side here to a short. Yeah, something just better than this setup really far in discount. And then another thing I want to point out is see this fair value gap right here? This is the fair value gap. This is one of the fair value gaps near this one. And one thing I've talked about is how I look for a fair value gap to be 6 points or more. And like that's this fair value gap, or this fair value gap has that, right? Like I want it to be a minimum of 4 points, and I say like 6 points is a sweet spot. Now, the problem with that I've been learning is that points don't really matter as much. You have to compare it to the candles next to it because volume is always going to be different. So you can see here we have this 30-second that's right next to it is a lot bigger. And then same with this 30-second is a lot bigger. And in comparison to these fair value gaps, this one just seems so insignificant in comparison to them. So I should have looked for, maybe if this fair value gap was like this, it would have been a little bit better. Maybe it would have worked if we inversed the fair value gap this big, right? Or even if it was just like this big, but it wasn't. So it was just so much more of an insignificant fair value gap. And it was also in discount. And again, that's relative to the volume at the time in the market. Now, you can see, I'm going to go forward to the other loss that I took. You can see price comes up. And the other loss that I took was right up here. All right. Now, I took this short and right here, my confluence is going into it where this liquidity sweep. So I entered here with that as my stop loss. And I was targeting these equal lows again with break even at these equal lows. So I was really confident in this setup because we had the equal lows and everything. Now, the problem with that is, again, you can see we're in discount. I will do since 8:30 again when we had market open or pre-market in discount. Even if you put the bottom of the range all the way down to these equal lows, we're still in discount here. So not good. And also, again, the fair value gap size, like in comparison to the ones next to it. We'll do this one. You can see very small. We'll even do like this one. This one was small as well, but again, this one's still bigger than it. And this one looks small. So very insignificant and very small, very far in discount. So I should have waited for a better liquidity sweep of maybe this, or even like if we got the big buy side liquidity sweep of this, that would have been really good, very short. But yeah, less context around this, very far in discount. And yeah, basically just took the liquidity sweep and we did have delivery off of this 1 minute. But again, just not really a good setup to take. And I'll show you a better one to take. This is the one I should have taken. I should have been patient and saw those setups and been like, no, it's too far in discount. Fair value gap's too small. It doesn't look good. So we take out these equal lows here. And there was a setup for them if you wanted to take it. It was this 1 minute. It did close really far. I saw some people who took this 30-second to them, entered here, and got partials and then stopped at break even. Now, the setup that I should have taken would have been, no, this one didn't sweep anything. Setup I should have taken, I should have waited. Boom, right here. We just swept all of this. And we are back in this 1 hour fair value gap. So we're in premium, right? If I draw this out, we are in premium, obviously. We are in this 1 hour fair value gap again. And we just took out a major buy side liquidity here. So I would be looking to take a short here. I would take it on this 1 minute right here. We do have a 2 minute, but this 2 minute is all the way down here. I'll draw it out. Probably putting a stop to break even at that 2 minute. But let's go forward. You can see here we do tap into the 2 minute. But I would enter into this short with about a 25-point stop loss like this. And probably just target this low. No, that's not even 2R. I would target 2R at least. Target here. You can target all the way down here if you want for 3R. But I'm just going to do a 2R. Like that. That's not 2R. There we go. 2R. So I'll enter in with 2 contracts just to show an example for partials. So I'll use 1 contract for a partial, 1 contract for a full TP. So we'll do this, full TP at 2R and partial TP right here at 1R. Like that. There we go. All right. So we go forward. Right there, we did hit a 1R. Let me actually fix that real quick. So I entered in 2, full TP, and all right, we closed one there. Stop loss, a little bit above break even, and full TP right there. Almost got stopped at break even, but and then you can see we go all the way down to those lows that I talked about. Not yet, actually. Dang. I thought we did. We do at some point, but that's the setup I should have waited for right there. As you can see, this setup had a lot better context in comparison to those other ones. Those other ones, again, really small, really far in discount. I mean, but this one, we came up, got this big buy side liquidity sweep here. We got this big buy side liquidity sweep. We got this inverse fair value gap, and we had the 1 hour bearish fair value gap with these engineered lows. So just looks a lot better than I mean, even if you targeted this low, the one that was 3.5R that I talked about, you'd have had a full take profit. But yeah, just so much more context behind this one. Even if you waited for like the higher time frame, like we have this 3 minute here. If you waited for this 3 minute, you entered right there, the stop loss like that, you could have targeted 2R. That would have been a full TP. You could have targeted this low for almost 3. If you targeted this low, you would have gotten partials, stopped at break even. So another way you could have played this, if you didn't want to take the 1 minute, you could enter here with 2 contracts like that and full TP right here. Now, again, for me, I don't normally target 3.4R. So maybe I would have targeted here for almost 3R or just 2R right here. And what I would do is boom, right there, close one off, and full TP like that. This is probably how I would have done it because I prefer the higher time frame over the lower. I know some people will stick to like the 1 minute, even though there's a 3 minute and a 2 minute or something like that. But again, I don't like taking 3 and 5 minutes because they take so long to close. But it's better than it's a lot better than taking like a 1 minute. So I do prefer the 1 minute and the 30-second because it closes a lot faster. But I prefer to take it on the higher time frame if it's there because the higher time frame is a lot better than the lower time frame. It's a lot more important. It's a lot more consistent. So this is how I should have played the day. I should have not taken any of these really bad for value gaps with less context. Like this big buy side liquidity sweep is very important for this setup. And sometimes it's really hard to be patient and wait for that. Takes a lot of like practice and patience for that. So that's one thing I have to work on. And yeah, we're going to go on to the next day now. Go on the 1 hour and I'll play it forward to 8 o'clock on the next day. Let me delete this. Go forward. Wait, I have to do this, don't I, to get rid of those execution things. Thursday. Friday, there we go. All right. Damn it. Right here, 8 o'clock. All right. So 8 o'clock, this is when we had that was NFP. Let me go right here. So here on the 1 hour, it already seems a little bullish, but I mean, we're waiting for NFP to come out. So I'll go on the 15-minute and go forward 2 candles. This is right before NFP came out. So I'll wait for NFP. I'll go on the 1 minute. And then boom, we just dump for NFP. News was bearish. We have a data low right here. And we have a data high. So looking for these to get taken out. Using these as a liquidity pool. And boom. Now you can see we don't really get a setup to this low here. But now I will be looking for a setup to the highs. So you can see here on the 1 minute, we get a setup right there. There is no 2 minute. The 1 minute is the only setup we have. So I didn't take this because I'm not going to lie, I got on my computer a little bit late today for NFP. So I didn't take this, but I saw some people who did. This was a really good setup. We had that liquidity sweep, and I would target, you could target up here for 5R, but again, I don't really like doing 5R. I would do 2R and partials at 1R, so 1R is like right here or something. You can see right there. Where's 1R? Let me see. My stop loss would have been 140. 1R was, didn't hit 1R. I know a lot of people who would have put their stop to break even. I would have put my stop to break even after we took this, which I know I haven't really been doing as much recently, but I would have put my stop to break even right here. But because of how we rejected this and then took this out, and then stop would have been break even. But I did not take this. I know some people who did, and they took partials right here. And then boom, if you didn't put your stop to break even, could have taken partials right here. But that's besides the point. I didn't take that. The whole point of this is to go over the trades I did take and what I should have done right. But if you'd taken that, you would have been good. Now, let's go forward to the setup I did take. I was looking for longs to this high. Now, let me go right here. I'm going to show you the 1 hour candle that we got out of this. This 1 hour candle from NFP inversed this 1 hour fair value gap. So I should have been bearish here, even though we already took out this liquidity. I did not really, I was stuck on these data highs a lot in these equal highs that we had. I was really stuck on them. So I was kind of ignoring the fact that we inversed this 1 hour, and I was stuck on these data highs. So I was looking for a long setup instead of focusing on the fact that we're bearish. And you can see we are over 200 points away from this data high. And we have this sell side here. After inversing that 1 hour. So should have been looking for a long after we take out this sell side liquidity. So I was looking for a long here. I was looking for us to either take out this or get a liquidity sweep here. And right here, pretty sure it was a 30-second. I think I took this one. No, I did not take this one. I took where is it? Where was the setup I took? Sorry about this. You know it's bad when you can't find it. Because this one worked off of this liquidity sweep. You know it's bad when you can't find it. Go forward. I know one of them I took was right up here. It was off of the delivery of this fair value gap here. Pretty sure it was a 2-minute or 1 minute. It was this right here. This was one of the ones I took. I entered off of this inverse, which again looks like a really bad inverse. I'm not gonna lie. I entered here, barely inversed it, which is fine. But this range that we're in, it's in premium. So there's no, it's literally the most premium that we can get. And it's just horrible. I mean, we don't have the higher time frame liquidity sweep. Like this liquidity after inversing that 1 hour is so important for us to take. And I was just ignoring that. And you can see that we ignore this inverse fair value gap, right? To come down here and take this sell side right here, which now I could look for a long setup after taking that sell side. And I'm pretty sure the other setup that I took was somewhere in here. I don't know where it was. It's whatever. But that's the one of the losses I took. Now, after taking this sell side liquidity here, I could look for a long setup. Now, we do have this 30-second fair value gap here. But we also have, I'm pretty sure we have a 1 minute. No, there is no 1 minute. There's a 2 minute. And there also is a 3 minute. But that 3 minute is pretty small. Especially in comparison to the fair value gaps next to it. The 2 minute looks pretty good. But 30 second doesn't look that bad. I'll probably take this 30-second, especially because we can move stops to break even pretty quickly and get a better risk to reward. So right here, not yet. Right here, somewhere we get a 30-second inverse. All right, right here we get a 30-second inverse, but it is pretty high. We already inversed the 2 minute. So that is bullish. So what I would do, since we already inversed the 2 minute, is I would probably enter right here. I would probably move my stop loss to break even here. Or maybe a little bit higher just because of the 2 minute inversing. I don't know where I move my stop loss to break even off that 2 minute. But you could enter here with 2 contracts. TP here, stop loss to break even on this. All right, right here, stop loss to break even. Partial TP at 1R. All right, right there. I would close one. Stop loss is already at break even. And now the full TP is right there. And boom, a full TP. This is how I should have played it. You can see we got a full TP of 2R after we waited for the sell side liquidity to hit. But taking the setups before we have that, not confluence, but before we have that, like, what's the word for it? Before we have that, like, I don't know the word for it, but before we have like the higher time frame, like tells us that like we had this sell side liquidity that we obviously want to take because of the higher time frame telling us that, but being impatient made me take a setup before we took that. And you can see those setups failed because that wasn't the drawn liquidity. After we took out this drawn liquidity, right? Because we were too far in discount to take a setup to it. And we had the data highs. So I didn't want to take a short with these data highs. Like, because there was a short up here that you could have caught. But I didn't want to take a short while we were still closer to these data highs. But now that we were so far away from the data highs, like we took the sell side, could have took this long and we were good. And there was a short setup somewhere here, which is why I said we're so far from the data highs that I saw some people take. If I go forward, there's like a 1 minute here or something. After we took out this liquidity. Yeah, I think it was a 2 minute. we took out this liquidity here, this buy side, and we had a manipulation leg here. So we had this big move, took out this buy side, manipulation leg with a short setup here. And the reason I would be ignoring the data highs here is because let's see how far we are from the data highs. 200, over 260 points away from the data highs. So obviously it's not the current draw on liquidity. We could target these lows here. Again, just to prove the partials, just to show the partials. Target this low here because it's 2.8 R or something like that. 1 R, close a contract, stop loss at break even, and full TP right here. And now here, after seeing this rejection, I'm not gonna lie, I'll probably just put my stop loss to here or my take profit to here, or just move it to 2R, because you can see this on the 2-minute. So we're already at noon. I don't like being in my trades for hours, so I'd probably just take the take profit at 2. If you wanted to put it here, you can, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't like being in my trades for hours, so I would have just taken it there. And I don't think this hits. Yeah, it goes back to break even, but either way, you can see using the higher time frame is just so important. And I was kind of getting FOMO and like wanting to take these trades, which is something I shouldn't be doing. So I hope you guys like are seeing that mistake. Oh, I just noticed this is the one I took. This is the one I took the loss. I entered here off of the liquidity sweep of this instead of the higher time frame liquidity that I needed. So again, really small fair value gap in comparison to the ones around it. This one, the other failed, didn't really have that, but again, really far in discount, which is fine, but really small fair value gap. And again, against the draw on liquidity. At this point, we had already had the 1 hour fair value gap tell us that, or the 1 hour telling us that we want to go down towards the sell side liquidity, and I kind of ignored that. So again, just really really impatient here. A lot of FOMO I have a feeling about. So really got to work on that and focus on higher time frame as well. So that's it for this video. Sorry about taking these losses in stream. Really got to work on that discipline and sticking to my higher time frame, because I had this drawn out saying that I wanted us to take this, but again, I just ignored that when we got a setup, just ignoring the higher time frame. So something I got to work on. I just got to focus on that. So thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you guys want to. Trying to hit 1,000 subscribers soon. And yeah, join my Discord so you guys can talk with me whenever you want. Send your trades in there. Let's get profitable, you know? So follow my Instagram or something. I don't know. I got them all in the bio. Join my Discord. I'll see you guys later.